With the 2022 season starting to heat up and the next year of events due to be set in motion, I thought I'd do a quick video looking at 4 players that I want to see have a big Six Invitational this February in a few days' time. I've picked one player from each region, each for various reasons, whether it be a player who had a great last season and needs to build on that, or on the flip side, a player that might not have lived up to their talent in a disappointing 2021 season. Hit that like button if you enjoy, subscribe for more, and now, here are my 4 players I want to see go big at the 2022 Six Invitational. Number 1 from North America, kicking off with a fan favourite, I've chosen Beaulo from Team Solo Mid. Beaulo is one of those special players that arrives in Tier 1 leagues with a lot of hype behind them, and for him specifically had fans and players alike tipping their hat to his quality shown across his YouTube channel and performances in the amateur leagues. He lived up to the hype quite quickly in 2019, winning a DreamHack Montreal and later a domestic NA major in 2020. TSM were looking to be the leaders of NA with their trajectory at the end of 2020, but last year were never able to really hit those same heights from previous years. And despite Beaulo still doing Beaulo things, even on a personal level, he didn't have his best season either last year compared to the amount of amazing moments he had had in important games in the 2 previous years. And although TSM found themselves securing back-to-back top 4 finishes in 6 Invitationals, a mixture of domestic shortcomings, substitutes having to be used in events, and role changes meant that Team Solo Mid were unable to make any type of dent in the 2 following majors of last season after SI. They almost didn't even make it to SI this year, losing their spot to Rogue, but once again showed their mentality in the open qualifiers, beating a hungry Parabellum esports in the NA Quals finals to lock themselves in for Stockholm. So back to Beaulo specifically for me, this is a pivotal moment in his career. I really want to see him set a strong precedent for the rest of their season and show the NA League and the rest of the R6 global competition that TSM are still one of the best teams in the world, with a series winner and super talented, priceless commodity in the likes of Jason, Beaulo, Doty. Do you think TSM will go big at this first event of the year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Next up, I've gone with the LATAM Slayer, Fntzy, and the boys over at FURIA. I'm going to keep this mostly focused on Fntzy here, as I plan to make another video again this year about teams to look out for in 2022, and spoiler, unless something big changes in the transfer window, one of the teams I will likely be choosing is FURIA. But Fntzy specifically has been excellent for this Brazilian squad, and now that the 2021 season is fully over, looking back at the season as a whole, his impact has been unmeasured for FURIA. Yes, FURIA and Coach Twister have improved the team massively as a well-oiled machine, not just as individuals. And let's not forget the importance of Rare 2 in his own right, who also joined when Fntzy did. But both domestically and internationally, Fntzy shined as one of the most impressive players on the eye, backing it up with the stats to prove it. Some of his highlights for me last year were in the BR6 when I believe he broke a record, getting back-to-back aces in rounds in a Tier 1 game against Ints in Stage 3. And on the global stage, you would have to say the games he featured in against Space Station Gaming across the majors were some of the best moments we got all season, and he was often leading the line for his team in those. I think he is given a lot of license to play on his instinct and is trusted to make a solo play if he feels he has the opportunity. So if FURIA feel this is how they still want to approach the game in the coming SI event and beyond, Fntzy will need to be fully ready for the responsibility that comes with, and just like he did so well last year, make more right decisions than he does wrong, as FURIA must be prepared for all the counter-stratting other teams in their group specifically would have done to break down what FURIA succeeded with so well last season. Good luck to them. I love this team, and so I hope they can have an even better season than they had last year, just like they did last year compared to their season before that in 2020. On to Europe, and NAVI's young star Blurr has got a great chance in Stockholm to show that he plans to be one of the world's best players this year. He had a great season in EUL in 2021, dragging NAVI over the line in quite a few different games, and the relationship and synergy he has built with Doki really alleviated the pressure of Doki or Saves to have to be the main impact player every game. Having 3 players who can frag so well and then having 2 strong supports behind that in the likes of Secretly and Nath means it's unlikely that one single player will ever have to carry the whole weight of the team, as even if one player is having an off day, the other 2 big hitters are probably still being able to have a big enough effect on the game to keep them in it. Blurr really impressed me specifically with the level of confidence he showed in EUL last year. He had made minor appearances in 2020 in the league, but last year was his first proper full season where he was on an established org with a team working on a long-term project. So to watch him hit the ground running so fast as a young, less experienced player was really nice to see. NAVI only qualified for one major last year, despite being solid domestically, and none of the NAVI players really had an amazing showing at that event. So for Blurr, now having a bit more international and domestic experience under his belt against top teams, I would really like to see him show everyone at this event why he had so much hype behind him in the EUL last year, and run this Six Invitational as one of the best players of the event. And finally, in APAC, I'm picking Rin from DWGKIA. An easy choice on Dam1 would have been to go with Yasir, as he is arguably their most important player on their team, but to me Rin is one of those players that can really be the difference between their team being solid and world beaters. Rin is a player that can just elevate the team, and similar to Blurr, can lift up players like Doki and Yas from having so much pressure on their shoulders. A strength of this Dam1 team that allows them to keep up with the best teams in the world is they have multiple players that can run riot on the international stage, not just one. Many teams seem to be amazingly strong in their regions, but heading into international lands end up being subdued by the pressure of the event and the high quality of other regions' teams and their playstyles. Dam1, however, play their own game and are actually one of the only few teams that actually seem to thrive at international events more than in their region, and you only need to look back as far as the last major we had in Sweden, where they were a single 1v1 away from taking down FaZe Clan, who would go on to win the whole event for themselves. And who was one of the standout players of that series? That's right, Rin, who ended the series with more kills than everyone on FaZe barring Souls, along with Yas top fragging the whole lobby by quite a margin. So at this spicy Stockholm Six Invitational, Yas is going to need to rely on his buddy Rin if Dam1 want to build on the excellent international season they had in 2021. And that's all for this one. Even outside of these 4 choices, there are countless players at this upcoming Six Invitational event that have their own stories and motivations to have a good tournament. These players may not live up to my expectations, but I really hope they do, as these 4 players are some of the most exciting talents to watch that Siege has to offer. Hit the like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and let me know again down in the comments what players are you most looking forward to at the Six Invitational, and who do you think needs to have a big event to set themselves up for the rest of the season. Let me know in the comments down below. And just to mention for my returning subscribers, I haven't been posting as much on this channel as I've been working on my other YouTube channel for more general gaming and other styles of content. I built both these channels at the same time and have just passed 1,000 subs on my other channel, No Net Plays, so I've been working really hard to keep up the momentum there. Feel free to check it out if you want. I'll drop the link in the description, or you can just head over to the channels tab of this channel and you'll see it linked down there. I will still be posting here, and of course will still be involved in the community watching games, streamers and YouTube content, but just thought I'd give a heads up for the upcoming year. Either way, thanks for all the love and support as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.